Welcome to another edition of Coastline. Joining me on the set today is Ray McBride, who is the director of the Beaufort County Public Library System. Ray, good to have you on Coastline this afternoon.
It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Lots of things going on, and of course, primary on your mind is the COVID-19 situation. You pretty much shut things down in the middle of March and have been operating on a COVID-based system, but on June 15th, you began to open things up again. So let's take it back to when things shut down and tell me what's been going on since then.
Right. As of 19th of March, we closed like most other facilities or operations, especially to the public. We were seeing over 5,000 visitors to our 5 libraries and bookmobiles prior to COVID-19 hitting, and we saw over 1,200 meeting room reservations per year. Closing those facilities to slow the spread, I think, was critical, as were other county operations closing at the same time. Once we did that, we quickly realized that we had a lot of digital resources that we could keep operating and keep offering to our public. So we quickly expanded the number of Hoopla items you could check out from 6 to 8. So Hoopla, of course, is our main digital database for audiobooks, electronic books, movies, comic books, etc. Along with, we have 42 different titles in Flipster, which is our magazine subscription database, and we also have Cloud Library, which is another audiobook and ebook system that you can use online. And so that quickly took off. We saw a very high expansion rate of the number of people using that from their home with their library card. And so by expanding that, we were able to take some of the pressure off and to offer those library services to the public at home. We also found quickly that before COVID-19, we had no venue for offering a library card online. So we quickly, within 2 days, developed that online so that our public could get a temporary library card because they needed that to be able to use our digital resources. Mm-hmm. And so we did that. And so COVID-19 operations has given us a couple of things that we will continue on. We, as soon as possible, offered curbside services so that you could call in or email us and then come by when you got to the parking lot. You would pop your trunk and we would bring out and put your already checked out items in your car for you. We're going to continue to do that because a lot of people are still not ready to come into a library.
That's understandable. There's still so much uncertainty about what best protocols are, and of course it seems like the CDC and the WHO changed the rules every week.
That's correct, and we quickly developed our pandemic reopening plan, and so far it has worked extremely well. So it's a very phased and process along with other county operations. And so we're right now, as of this past Monday, when we opened all of the branches back up, but for some temporary hours, we're open our normal operating hours Monday through Saturday, but we're closed at 4 p.m. Every day so that the staff can clean their areas and we can deep clean. So we're ready for operations the next day. We've continued our curbside service for those people who still are not ready to come in the library. And our public has been very understanding. And they have to wear a mask just like any county facility to come into the libraries. If they don't have one when they come in, we have one for them. Mm-hmm. And all of those provided by Beaufort County as another resource. We have all the appropriate signage and social distancing signage there. And everyone has been very understanding and slowly picking up, coming back to the library. Again, if they are not ready to do that, then we do the curbside service. And then, of course, we have kept our expanded digital offerings. We've even added digital offerings. We've added Lyndacom, which is a database of 8,000 training videos, everything from the fire services exam to just a wide variety of training resources.
Yeah, I know. I used to be a subscriber to Lynda.com. It was costing me about $139 a year, and so will I be able to, if I've got a library card, have access to everything that I was getting before, like introduction to Photoshop and InDesign techniques and
Excel, Word, all of it is on Lynda.com, and it's free with your Beaufort County Library card.
And will I be able to still get certified within those Lynda.com programs that they had to the person who paid the full boat price?
Yes, that's another benefit of us offering that to our public. And so the full suite is there for you to use, and it's free with your Beaufort County Library card.
Fantastic. I have to admit, I allowed my library card to lapse, and they kept sending me reminders to come in, but now that I can just do it online, I'll just go ahead and renew it after our program this afternoon. That is really an absolutely amazing resource, and I want to kind of stay on that for a minute because you, along with the Beaufort County school system, went ahead and shut down everything in March. And I'm wondering if the Lynda.com program that you're offering, will that be something that you try and engage the school district in?
We already have a good partnership with the Beaufort County School District. Last year, we did a joint summer reading program for all the children in Beaufort County. And so, yes, that's another resource. And so with the resources that the school district offers and the resources that the library offers, and we try not to be redundant with those resources so that we can be efficient and cost effective. So if you you have a child in the school, you use the school district resources and you library resources, then it's truly amazing what you have access to.
So you've gone ahead and begun phase one of your reopening plan. How does the 5,000 different groups and the meeting places and all of that you described earlier play into all of this? Will people still be able to use the meeting rooms as they wish?
Well, actually, we have just gone into phase 3 of our 4-phase plan.
Oh, okay.
So phase 3 is reopening the libraries to temporary hours. Phase 4 is really pretty much back to normal. So we will probably, on July 6th, we'll probably do a modified phase 3, and we will begin to reopen some computers, public internet computers, to the public, so that they can do what they need to do on our computer resources. And we will be looking at when and if we can open the meeting rooms back up. Maybe limiting the number of people who can use those at one time, but a lot of that is going to do with the spread of the virus and what recommendations from DHEC and CDC there are out there, because we are very concerned not only for our staff safety but for the safety of the public utilizing our facility.
Sure, yeah, I didn't even think about the internet access. How does that all play out with the use of keyboards and mice?
Well, what we would do, we have a cleaning process. Staff cleans constantly. They use hand sanitizer. They wash their hands multiple times a day. As far as the keyboard goes, we take the keyboards off, and when you check out a computer, we give you a new keyboard that's been thoroughly cleaned with with a spray cleaner that is guaranteed to kill COVID-19 germs or virus. And so then we put those in, and we clean those, re-clean those, and then quarantine them for a time, and then give you a new keyboard or a clean keyboard as you need it.
Now, during this entire period since middle of March, I'm assuming that the Bookmobile has still been out and about?
No, sir.
No?
No, because it's virtually impossible to social distance in a Bookmobile.
So the Bookmobile actually had people going on it
yes,
rather than in like a dispensary.
That's correct. So we have 2 Bookmobiles, one north of the Broad, one south of the Broad, and those are critical assets to us. But the problem is you can't social distance in those. On July 6th, we will open those back up to limited services. We will have a table, staff will have a table at those Bookmobile stops outside the vehicle, and you can request your items, and staff will go on and select those items for you and then bring them outside to you. Because there is really when we did not have COVID operations, there's only about 5 people or 6 people can fit on a Bookmobile at one time. So, it would be limited to 1 or 2 at the most people on the vehicle to truly social distance. So we have worked out the operations where, we'll still come to your stop, but we'll have a table outside with masks and stuff, but we will deliver, like curbside service, we will deliver the materials to you. And of course, you can reserve items through our online catalog, and the Bookmobile will deliver them during their stop to you.
Okay, and how's your summer reading program looking this year?
Summer reading program is all digital, it's all online this year. Again, coordinated with the school district, and so a lot of our online videos and resources this year, it's completely online this year, unfortunately. We'd love to see the kids, but just not practical at this time. So in coordination with the school district, we did it all online using a lot of short videos and talking to kids about different things from gardening to a variety of things that we'd like them to have access to or read. So again, it's going to be limited to that, unfortunately, this year.
Well, at least you do have something for them. I know that the kids are probably running around like chickens with their heads cut off during all of this quarantining and this new normal, as it were. And fortunately, throughout all of this, there have been some nice bequests, and we're going to talk about that right after this message.
The OneStop Shop is located in the administration building on the 2nd floor in room 225. Before the OneStop Shop, people didn't like that you had to go upstairs, downstairs, and possibly once you were upstairs, you had to go back downstairs to see another department. So with the OneStop Shop, we consolidated those so it's one location where you will have the zoning department, the business license department, and the building codes department. It's literally one stop for your permitting and licensing.
We're back on Coastline with Ray McBride, who is the director of the Beaufort County Library System. And before the break, we were talking about some of the bequests that have been coming in, but I did have one follow-up on the summer reading program. Unfortunately, in years past, you've always given medals for reading. Is that not going to be available this year?
No, that will still be available. So at the end of the summer reading program, the kids will still be able to come by and pick up their summer reading medal, just as it has been for years.
And what are the requirements for them to get that particular award?
This year, we just want you to read. And so it's very, very simple this year. You read, and there's some online information you fill out, and then when you've completed that, you just come by and pick up your medal. Just drop by the library. We'll bring it out to you for curbside service if you don't want to come in the library, but you can still pick up that medal.
Oh, that's great. That is great. Now, you're certainly not doing nothing while all of this has been going on. You actually have some construction projects underway south of the Broad. You're expanding your Bluffton Children's Library section by a threefold amount, if I'm correct.
That's correct.
And you're doing something in Hilton Head as well, right?
Right. At the Bluffton Library, last year we had commissioned a interior space study from a certified architectural firm who came in and looked at ways we could reorient the building interior-wise. because we're landlocked. We can't expand up and we can't expand out on those buildings. So what they determined was that there was a lot of space inside that we could reorient, put up some new walls, and expand. We see so many children every year at the Bluffton Library, particularly. Sometimes we've seen as many as 150 kids at one program, and the space is just not oriented for that right now. So by taking some existing space and moving it around internal to the building, we can expand that, put in a separate program room for children that we can seat 100 people in a program, or about 35 are class size, at tables to work on projects and stuff. And expand the number of books and stuff we have available to children. And so beginning this week, we should get the schedule where the architectural and engineering study is done for the HVAC systems, the air conditioning units, the structural walls and stuff that will need to be moved and or adapted during that renovation. And then we can, after that phase is completed, then we'll be able to put the project out for bids to have the actual construction or renovation completed. But that's, of course, a year or so out. But we are finally able to move on to that next phase. At our Hilton Head Library, the Friends of the Hilton Head Library have been amazing and true friends to the library system. And last year, they purchased a second bookmobile for South of the Broad. This year, they committed $60,000 to new furniture to the Hilton Head Library. That library is almost 20 years old now. And so it was time for some upgrades, and so they generously funded that, and we just completed. It's a new 10-seat custom-built public computer service desk, new tables, new countertops for the stacks for the book shelves. So it's really has done wonders for the look and feel of the Hilton Head Library and updating that. And so again, we have 3 friends groups: Bluffton Friends of the Library, Hilton Head Friends of the Library, and the Beaufort Friends of the Library, who cover our 3 branches north of the Broad. All of them have been amazing and really supplement what we're able to do, or what the county is able to do as far as funding our library system.
And aside from the gracious $60,000 gift, you've gotten a few other bequests, haven't you?
Yes, we also have a Public Library Foundation of Beaufort County, which is another amazing group, and they cover the entire county for us. And so they have an endowment that they're working on to reach $1 million, and they're over halfway there. And so they bequeath money to the library system each year. Last year they did a $14,000 scholarship to pay for one of our staff to go and get their master's degree in library science at the University of South Carolina, which helps us grow our own leaders internally. That's been extremely beneficial. The staff members who are chosen for that, it's merit-based, and they probably would not have ever had the funding to get their master's degree and become a professional librarian without the foundation. The Beaufort County Friends funded a second scholarship, and so we have 2 full-time staff members working on their master's degree and should graduate in the next year or so. And so that's just a couple of the things that the Friends and the Foundation do. The most recent, of course, that the Foundation has been involved in is they just approved a $5,000 matching grant to supplement a grant that was given to the Beaufort County School District from the United Way of the Lowcountry. And so this year, we between the $5,000 from the Public Library Foundation and from the United Way of the Lowcountry, we will be purchasing, giving away $10,000 worth of free books to children throughout the county. And again, that's part of our partnership with the school district.
Yeah, literacy is so critical, and particularly in these days when more and more jobs are spent desk-bound rather than out and about. correct?
That's correct. And I think it's more important than ever that literacy is key. And it doesn't matter if you're reading a physical book or if you're reading digitally online, reading is still, so critical for being able to move ahead in society.
You know, that's an interesting point. I've been a tough adopter to go to the digital route. Maybe it's because my eyes are, beginning to give me fits in my older age, and I actually have some reading glasses that have a blue filter on them for specifically digital screens. How are you finding the millennials and the younger generation are adapting to digital as opposed to the traditional book binding?
Well, you have to remember that children today have grown up with the digital. My 8-year-old granddaughter can use an iPad or a cell phone better than I can. And we see that throughout, the county where the kids have those digital resources, that they adapt very quickly and very easily to them. But we like to say in the library system, you need to have the best of both worlds. You need to still do the physical reading of books because you have the tactile, the feel of the book. It's a different experience, at least for our age, to try to learn to utilize the digital. And again, with your eyes, I have the same issues that you do with your eyes and glasses. But we like to say, and we tell all of our customers that you really need to do both to get the best experience and to get the most out of the experience of reading.
Speaking about our ages, it's kind of a sad note here, but after 5 years of being the director of the Beaufort County Library System, you are going to be leaving at the end of the year. Is that correct?
That's correct. Again, this is the end of my second career. I've been library director in Beaufort County and also library director in Florence County, the operations manager for the Greenville County Library System, and the systems administrator for the Darlington County Library System. So 4 counties in South Carolina. All counties are extremely different in a lot of ways, but it's been an amazing education for me. And also I had a full military career, retired from the Army. It's time for me to move out of the way and let some of the younger generation take over the reins of managing the public libraries in South Carolina.
And in your absence, they'll have the interim administrator of the library system, which is your current assistant, right?
That's correct. Amanda Dickman is an amazing librarian. And she will be, the board will actually vote, the Library Board of Trustees will vote in September at their meeting to make her their interim director while they form a search committee to go out and advertise for my replacement.
All right, well, go Army, beat Navy.
Hoo-ah.
All right. Well, in the last couple of minutes that we have, let's just, we spoke briefly about the digital experience, and Hoopla is just such an amazing offering. If you were to try and sell our viewers on Hoopla, what would you do in about 2 minutes? What would you say?
Hoopla is Netflix on steroids. It's again, you don't need an account like Netflix. All of our digital resources are free with your library card. Lynda.com, Flipster, all of our magazine offerings, all of our audiobooks, electronic books, comic books, old TV shows, videos.
Do you have access to any newspapers online?
Newspapers are a special thing these days.
Yeah.
They're very expensive to get a subscription. We do have some of our older newspapers and stuff access online. But nothing current, very expensive.
What about, I used to go in and they'd have these microfiche machines and be able to look back. Do you have anything like that online?
We do, but one of the other digital resources I neglected to talk about is Ancestry.com.
Oh.
Ancestry.com, we had a subscription before COVID-19. We had a subscription and you could only get to Ancestry.com, their databases, on a library computer in a physical library building. Well, Ancestry.com worked with us, and so they, at our suggestion, they opened up Ancestry.com through July 31st, free with your library card from home.
Wow, that's
so,
great.
While you're at home, you can still, and we had hundreds of people contact us online to say, once we announced that we had Ancestry.com free from home, so that has been an amazing resource, and Ancestry.com has, they were wonderful to work with to open it up at no additional cost.
Well, I better get online then right now and find out who my old ancestors are. Yeah. Ray McBride, thank you so much for joining us as the director of the Beaufort County Library System, and best of luck to you in your retirement. And
thank you.
Next month, we're going to have Matt Watts, who is the Deputy Director of the Parks and Recreation Services, and we'll be talking about what they're doing in the midst of this COVID-19 crisis. We hope you'll join us on the next edition of Coastline.
I'm Sarah Brock, Clerk to Council for Beaufort County Council. Did you know Beaufort County has 29 active boards and commissions? These boards and commissions serve a vital role in Beaufort County and allow citizens like you to get involved with local government and advise your council members on a wide range of issues. Members serve in a variety of capacities, from advising council regarding the selling and purchasing of land, hearing appeals, allocating ATAX monies, advocating for specific organizations, working on stormwater-related issues, zoning issues, design review, historical preservation, you name it. Visit www.beaufortcountysc.gov/council/boards and commissions today to see a list of our active boards and commissions and fill out an application. Sign up today so you can have a hand in making our community even greater than it already is.
What is the 2020 census? The census counts everyone living in the country, and it records everyone who lives at your address on April 1st. The data can be used to inform important funding decisions that affect your community. Shape your future. Start here. Visit 2020census.gov.